While college fairs may be a must for students, it's also important for the parents to go as well. With parents covering over 50% of college costs, it's a great idea for parents to tag along. It might knock the cool points down just a little bit, but go along for those students, get the exposure to different colleges, and also learn more yourself. Please welcome the publisher of Potential Magazine, Pam Mashburn, and Olivier Charles, Director of Admissions from Auburn Montgomery. We appreciate you guys coming in today.
Thanks. I think I increased my kids'
You
cool
probably
factor
do.
up.
Yeah, they're like,
That's what I think.
Mom,
Come on.
come hang with us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. So for, all the kids like to go to those college fairs and of course wowed by all the different schools and I want to go here and I want to go there, but talk about the importance of parents coming along too.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to also talk about is don't just wait until your child's a senior. Start at night. They're a little overwhelming, especially the large one we've got coming Monday night with the junior league. But one of the things I like about it is that there's going to be, there'll probably be 100 schools there if it's like last year. Yeah. And they've all got tables, and there's schools you've never even heard of. There's schools from other cities. And so it can be a little overwhelming, but it saves you a lot of money because you don't have to travel to all of those schools. You can start narrowing it down, and you might find a school that's really a great fit for your child.
So it might be something you never even thought of, and you see their sign, the logo, and you walk over there and hear about their majors and think, wow. That sounds what I'm looking for.
Well, and they might have an equestrian program, or they might have, something unique that you want to know about. So I love doing that, and also those recruiters can give you some really good advice to parents. Because, my kid's worried about is there a Starbucks close by?
Right.
I'm worried about things that are a little bit different than that. So it's a great time, especially as they get older and they're in that 10th, 11th, 12th grade, to start asking some more serious questions. But we brought Olivier because he's like a masterful recruiter at the college fairs. And he has some great tips to help parents prepare their kids for this.
Yeah. What should the students and what should the parents be thinking about when they're coming to one of these events?
Well, as a parent, a lot of times, one of the things that we run into with all colleges is that a lot of parents end up speaking for their students. So we like to kind of tell parents to be there and to have your child there, but to have your child introduce you and let your child speak to the college. A lot of times, I know for my son, I would end up asking a lot of his questions because I want the best for him, and I know all parents do. But we want the students to ask the questions because a lot of times the recruiter can kind of engage with the student a little better and kind of feel out their needs. Another thing that we like to remind all parents of and students is also to dress comfortably. You want to be able to get around that fair. A fair like Junior League, where it's over 100 schools, it's a big facility. So if you have some very nice heels that you like to wear, please wear them, but know that your feet will hurt
Yeah, it's concrete,
within a few hours.
So, yeah.
And also one of the things that we see in admissions is we want parents to check their students' email. Not check their email content, but check their email address. A lot of times we want that name to be appropriate, and students don't think when you sign an email or make an email in 9th grade, I like to party at yahoo.com is not the best thing. Have you emailed me before?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
And another good tip that we figured out is if you've been to a college fair, you end up writing your name and your email a lot, about 100 times if you see all 100 schools. A good tip for all parents and students out there is to make labels. Just make labels with your name, your email address, your major, and your high school. Most of the time, that's what colleges want. And usually they'll engage with you through email, but if you wanted to shorten your writing time through that night, just make you some labels and put them on those contact cards. So right now, we definitely want parents and students to be as engaged as possible. And the last tip that we have is to have a plan. A lot of people get the grocery store effect, that's what we call it. When you get what you want, but you get distracted by all the other things that are there. Right. We want to make sure that students and parents get to see the schools that they want to see first, and then get a chance to shop around a little bit. That way you can get your questions answered. And whether you want to be a nursing major or an engineering major, make sure you have the right schools in mind, and make sure that you have the right questions in mind pertaining to that major.
Right,
You might cross them off the list and might add some new ones who you weren't thinking about before. Pam, let's remind folks again about the event coming up on the 15th.
Right, Junior League is sponsoring it. Potential will be there. We're giving out our magazines. And if you want to get more information, we've got a list of questions, good questions to talk about with your kids to have them ask at the college fair. Go to our Facebook page this afternoon and you'll see a list of those questions. And it's Potential Magazine on Facebook.
Okay, remind folks where they can find it if they want the hard copy.
If you want the hard copy, anywhere you're going to find parents and kids, parents and students, hair salons, doctor's offices, and schools, of course.
Good advice. We appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you for the good information for the students and the parents.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you
for being with us today. Hey.